been a troublemaker, I've been a late night player, I've been broke as a joke, I've been a money maker, I've been a record breaker, taking credit as an educator, I've been known to spit the flows and make it shaky, shaky thing, popping, locking, stopping, let it hang. Watch us as we drop this hip hop, it's like it stings. We make the whole room drop and everybody sing. We want the funk, we gotta have that funk. We kick it old school, we think we're so cool. We take it back to the past, we gonna act a fool. Up jumps the middle finger, make my Jaeger just a little bit.
Hello, and welcome to Sports Buzz, the Fanatical View. I am your host, Scott D. Lewis, here live in studio, Comcast Cable Channel 23, downtown Danbury, Connecticut, on this September 26th, late September day, early fall. Summer officially over now. Baseball season, regular that is, almost officially over now.
At least for New York.
It's been over for a little while for one of the New York teams.
Yeah,
the other New York team kind of, sort of was in it. Officially no longer, as they are done for the year. And there is the voice of my right-hand man, who we welcome back into the studio, Mr. Bob Rod Jr. Bob, nice to see you back here.
Thank you, Scott.
I know it's been a tough, trying time for you in the last couple weeks, but I hope everything went, as reasonably well as okay.
Mine not.
Are we not hearing Bob?
Are you not hearing me?
Hello in the studio, our control
Here we
room
go
directors.
again.
We do 10 mic checks, and
now it doesn't work.
and then
We're
all of a
plugged in.
sudden It doesn't
Can
work.
you hear me?
So as
All
I
right.
was,
I guess we're
he's,
back.
He's back on. It wouldn't be a show if
without-
Bob's microphone wasn't
not working.
So anyways, Bob, we know it was a tough time for you the last couple weeks,
Yeah.
but you got through it okay, and
Yeah.
not easy laying to rest a parent, especially a good
especially-
close friend when your father is a good friend.
Oh yeah, he was my partner in everything. So
Tell us the story about this painting, Bob. I know you told me it was a surprise.
it was a surprise. Cornell's up the Cornell Funeral Home. They surprised me with this painting, and I was blown
How
away.
did they come up with that painting during the week, or did they
They
have
took it from the picture that's on my father's.
They had a photo, and
Yeah.
somebody there made a painting out of it,
Yeah.
huh? That is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've had dealings with Cornell recently too, but they are great people there,
yeah.
and they do a great job for the
yeah.
families involved. And it was a nice showing. How was the funeral services?
It went well. We had a good turnout. I need to thank the Connecticut Cruise News for the flag line and the fire department for all their help, especially with the doing the the catering and having our all our
Right.
open house and everything there for everybody.
And your dad, of course, big sports fan.
Oh.
Now, I had figured, because I know you're a Mets fan, but seeing and reading some things and seeing some photos of him in recent weeks, I think he was actually a Yankee fan.
Yes, he was. He was a very big Yankee fan.
So a huge Yankee fan. How did you end up being a Met fan as opposed to a Yankee fan?
Well, because back in the day, when we were going to school, we couldn't afford to go to Yankee Stadium, so the only place we could go for the kids, in school, they only could afford us to go to Shea Stadium.
Shea Stadium.
So that's why I became a Mets fan.
It was a money thing.
Yeah.
Profit deal.
Yeah.
So you became a Mets fan. Was he upset by this?
No, but I rooted for the Yankees during the '70s, when they were in their heyday. But then things kind of went.
The 80s weren't so good. The
80s,
early
the
90s
Yankees
weren't so
had
good.
their no World Series in the 80s.
18-year drought.
Yeah.
And the Mets, of course, had the great World Series title in '86. I'm sure that was easy to jump on
But
board.
my dad was a good sport. He was really supportive of that. He loved watching that.
Well, your dad was 84.
84.
So he goes way back. He probably even got to see the Dodgers before they left town.
Oh yeah, he got to see the Dodgers. He used to. His aunt didn't live too far from the stadium, so he used to frequently go between the Giants, the Dodgers, and the Yankees.
So he goes way back with it.
Yeah.
So you guys were on opposite sides of the thing. but not necessarily a big rival. I mean, you had appreciation for both teams.
Right.
But what about the other sports?
Oh, he was a diehard Giants fan.
Big Giants fan.
Of course, he wouldn't be so happy with them, what they've been doing.
0-3
0-3 start. So, but
thankfully, he has not had to see this version of the Giants so far. And then, is he into the other sports as well, hockey and basketball as much?
He not so much he liked the UConn. He liked UConn for his college basketball.
Okay.
And I mean, he liked the Knicks when he was a kid. Back in the big days.
And the Knicks have gone through a long stretch. They've gotten better in the last couple of years. But Rangers? How about
Rangers? Definitely Rangers, and definitely the Whalers.
Oh, big Whalers fan.
Yes.
When they left town, that was tough for everybody around here. And I know you guys always would go even to just the local sports, not just the Westerners.
He was, a Danbury Whalers fan. He, the Trashers. Any place I went, he would be, with me.
Oh, yeah. The first time I saw you guys, and I didn't even know you then, was over at Rogers Park. And we've never spoken about this, but I went down. I just moved back to the area and was with a friend, and he was like, let's go check out our buddies play softball in a men's league. And you and your dad were there, and we actually talked to you guys that night. And you're two easy people to remember because you stand above everybody else. So when I met you later, I was like, hey, that's that guy that was
my dad,
thinking to myself, that was that guy that was down at the park. And you guys were at all sporting events in the area. WestCon even.
Oh, yeah. WestCon. Well, my
High
dad worked at
school
WestCon as
probably?
well, so we both were, big WestCon, for that. And especially, softball. My dad loved softball. I mean, he would be out there every, especially right before, the week before he got too sick, after he come home from the nursing home,
right.
we went down to a couple softball games, and that was really his biggest wish,
Yeah, he liked doing that.
Loved the car shows.
Yeah, and you had the big Southern New York Racing
Association reunion this weekend. And
weather turned out good.
Oh, weather was perfect.
Dave King didn't sing out of tune?
No, he sung very well. you know who did the recording for me?
Who did it?
John Newmuller, and I had Marty Heiser doing some interviews for it.
Marty was
coming up soon, and in a special spotlight on.
All right. When you're in a special or in a regular spot?
No, it'll be a special. I think it's a Wednesday night. Next week. I think it's next week. I'm not sure.
But so you'll have plenty of footage from that.
Yep.
Always good to see everybody coming down. So it was a good crowd.
Oh, we had. There was no place to park. They were parking on the boat ramp over at SoCo. They were playing, wherever you could find a parking place. It was just, and everybody was worried about that thing on the highway. It never happened.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, didn't cause a problem.
No.
With the
traffic backup or nothing.
Yeah, with the construction going on out there. Well, that's good to hear. Good to hear that Dave was on tune and playing.
Oh, yeah.
He played all day, right?
He played all day.
That's a good time for him. I know he was excited about it.
Okay,
so,
next Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m., you can watch the reunion here on Comcast, Channel 23.
Channel 23, and of course, Bob's Show Spotlight on Tuesday nights at 9, Wednesdays at 12. Our director in the studio, Mike Toohey, his show, Expose Cinema, Friday nights 9, Wednesdays at 1. Rumor has it he will be doing a special Halloween show, which will be coming up the week before Halloween, October 23rd, a Wednesday night as well.
That's a hot night, Halloween.
Yeah, so we'll see. He said he's got some scary stories to tell. I don't know.
I got a scary story about Halloween. you know what? You know why? I was born on Halloween.
Halloween! Wow. Who knew?
Yeah, we 51.
Well, we'll have to wish you a happy birthday then. That's actually going to be a Thursday, so we'll be here on Halloween and on Bob's birthday.
I also have some other great news.
What do you got?
I got a new lady in my life.
Well, that's good. That'll help you get over your troubles.
Oh, yes.
Nice to have a lady around when things... Well, we're happy to hear that, and we're happy you're back in studio, Bob. And let's get on to some sports. Actually, real quick, you just mentioned boats over by the the event there. Let's do a quick mention of the America's Cup. Stunning comeback victory for Team America, Oracle, as they rallied. And this was the most attention America's Cup got in quite some time. It has, I remember growing up, it used to get more attention.
Right.
It's kind of been off the radar in the sports scene, but for some reason this year it was on the radar, and then they come up with this amazing rally, having to win 8 straight races down the stretch, as Team New Zealand was 1 win away for a week, basically, from clinching this thing, and they couldn't get it done.
Right.
And the Oracle team rallies, wins 8 straight races to overcome the deficit, and wins the America's Cup, brings it back to America. Of course, they're captained by an Australian who has an entirely international crew. Not any Americans involved except for, I guess, the owner of the boat. So, but, you know, good job by Oracle, good job by America's Cup getting back onto the radar of the sports landscape. All right, let's get into baseball real quick before we go football.
There's let's see, what is the Yankees completely
Officially eliminated from playoff contention last night, as they have quit in the last few days as they have been retiring players. Here we see Andy Pettitte. Of course, the legendary Mariano Rivera got his send-off.
And I think Derek
on
Jeter is
Sunday
also
night.
going to be.
Derek Jeter, the captain, the only one left. He says he's planning on playing, but
I don't think so.
he might decide to go the way of the West, like his older friends there. And the Rays come to town now, suddenly red hot. The Rays were in danger of falling out of that wild card spot,
All of a
but
sudden
they
he did that about face.
the Orioles fell flat on their face. And they, in that 4-game series, Bob, it was that opening night Friday game that went, 18 innings, and the Orioles lost that game, and it was basically lights out as they couldn't recover from that devastating loss, and Tampa went on to win 4 straight sweep in Tampa Bay to get them in prime position. They have not wrapped it up. 3 games to go. 4 games, actually. They have 1 more with the Yankees, 3 with the Jays. Tampa does.
Right.
1 game behind them for the second wild card. Cleveland, who beat Chicago for the 12th straight time this season. And look at this guy right here, Jason Giambi, the Giambino, the Juicambino. We got him somewhere up there in our bobbleheads.
Yeah, he's on the end.
But he's been helping out the old grizzled veteran. And the Indians red hot right now. They have 4 games left against the Twinkies. We'll see what they can do there. The Rangers still, who they were dead and buried almost, but they now have rallied. Helps that they've been playing the Astros. They've got 4 games at home against the Angels remaining as well. And they're 1 out of that wild card spot.
The Yankees, don't they play the Astros for the last 3 games?
They're in Houston with their season all over, meaningless games
So nothing
in
more
Houston.
terrible.
Goodbye, New York. Goodbye, Mariano. Goodbye, Andy Pettitte. Maybe goodbye, Derek Jeter, who's not even playing.
Maybe goodbye, Robinson Cano.
Cano looking for a $305 million 10-year deal.
Oh, and
he could say goodbye. Who's that?
The manager. Girardi
is not under contract as well.
They said
we could have a lot of changes. It's going to be a whole new look for those Yankees next year. We'll see what happens. Hey, Teixeira will be coming back from injury, though. Who knows? Granderson's a free agent.
He'll be going.
We'll see where he goes. It's going to be a whole new deal.
Just rip it all up and just start all over again.
So the Yankees are done, but there are still things to be decided between those final 2 playoffs. Kansas City, not mathematically eliminated, but they are all but done. They have not been able to keep pace. They're the last team in that group that still mathematically has a chance, but are out of it. It's really Tampa, Cleveland, Texas fighting for the final 2 playoff spots and seeing who will have that home field advantage in that 1 game. The Red Sox have wrapped up the AL East. And they are looking to wrap up the home field advantage. They are now 2 games up on Oakland, looking good with 3 games remaining against Baltimore, who has already been eliminated. Oakland is 1 game ahead of Detroit, 2 out behind Boston, 1 up on Detroit for home field in that first-round divisional matchup. It'll most likely be Oakland versus Detroit, but who will be at home for that series, Bob? Oakland has 3 at Seattle. The Tigers finish 3. One guess where they're playing, Bob?
Where?
Miami. They're playing the Marlins. They're not even in the conference. Unbelievable. Interleague play to end the season.
That doesn't make sense.
National League, the Cardinals pretty much have their division wrapped up. It's going to come down to Pirates and Reds for the final 2 wild card. They have it wrapped up, but who will be home? Right now, the Pirates 1 up on the Reds, but they play the final 3 games in Cincinnati.
Oh, that could be a very...
It's been 20 years since the Buccos have been in the postseason. They are in the postseason. They're 3 out behind St. Louis. So it's going to be tough for them to catch them with only 3 games remaining, and they got 3 against Cincinnati. So it's basically they're going to have this 1-game playoff against Cincy. They're hoping it'll be in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
These 2 teams will now have played 6 games in the final week of the season, and then the 1 extra wild card game. So they got a lot going on. The Cardinals are a half game up for home field advantage on the Braves, and the Braves are 2.5 up on the Dodgers. So it's really down to St. Louis and Atlanta for home field advantage.
Well, the Dodgers had a very good celebration out there in
Arizona. You liked that when they jumped in the pool.
Oh, yeah.
Got a little crazy. Dodgers did not hold back celebrating in Arizona's pool.
Yeah.
Your Mets, Bob.
They are pathetic.
Well, they did some damage to Cincy this week, but the big news, I guess, one final thing to look forward for them, Mike Piazza, Pepperoni Piazza, coming back, going into the Mets Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I believe that is on Sunday for a big celebration.
And there is some more talk that Matt Harvey might be...
Well, they ruled out surgery for now. They're going to do rehab and get him better. I think a lot of Mets fans are cautious and not feeling all that secure about that decision.
And the rumor mill says that he might be on the trade block.
Oh, I haven't heard that rumor mill, and I don't see that happening at all. I would put that one to rest right here, right now. A lot of these rumors are just that.
Wait a minute, look
and
what happened to
bad
R.A. Dickey
rumors.
last year, you know?
True, but R.A. Dickey was an aging player. This is your future right here. They're not going to trade
I don't put
Matt
anything
Harvey.
past
No way.
Mets,
no way. Zach Wheeler, maybe.
Yeah.
But Matt Harvey, I do not see that happening. Nice that David Wright came back.
Yeah.
He was on the DL for the last month or so. He did come back and played well in this last week.
Right.
So he's back. All right, let's move off baseball because we've been singing the same story basically for the last month as these teams have all been in lockstep, just coming down the wire. Nothing's changed. And really, that was the one point I wanted to make. For all these games, all these teams being right wire to wire,
Right.
I've been pretty bored by it.
Yeah.
It really, the second wild card thing, not finding it all that thrilling.
No.
You know, Cincinnati
It's
and Pittsburgh, how thrilling is it when you know they're going to play 1 game? And they've been locked up in that 1-game thing forever. So we knew that was going to happen.
Right.
You know, there was some compelling drama with 6 teams in the mix in the AL wild card, but still, nobody's getting eliminated. They're all going to get a chance to play 1 game.
Right.
So anyways, boring if you ask me. Not all that thrilled with it.
No.
NFL, here we go, Bob.
I know,
Patriots, Dolphins, Broncos, Chiefs, the Sheffies, Seahawks, Bears, Saints, 3-0. 7 teams after the first 3 weeks, undefeated, Bob. We haven't had that many after 3 weeks in a while.
You want to mention the ones that are 0-3?
How about we go 6 teams on the other end of the spectrum and some big ones as well. Steelers, Jaguars, Giants, the G-Men, the Redskins, the Deadskins, Vikings turning back, the Vikes going back to yikes. Ouch. Buccaneers. Our evil director, former Kevin Gallagher, who is excited about his chefs, not saying too much about his Super Bowl prediction, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 0-3.
Yes.
Crazy. And some other surprising 1-2 teams as well, Bob.
Yeah.
Tonight, San Francisco 1-2 at St. Louis 1-2.
That should be interesting.
How about Eagles, Packers, Falcons 1-2? Crazy.
Wait, what about that other team that plays in New York? They're
2-1 New York Jets, Jets. Geno time with the bomb to Santonio Holmes to clinch it as the Bills had come rallying back and looked like they were going to steal a win in New York. but they couldn't do it, and the Jets do beat down the Bills on a late touchdown pass to Santonio Holmes by Geno Smith. And, of course, we know Dirty Sanchez will never play again in New York. His career as a Jet quarterback is over.
He might be going where the Tebow man is.
Bye-bye for that. So he is out. He is done. Jets 2-1, and they are at another surprising 2-1 team. Tennessee, remember those Titans as they pulled out a last-second win. This is the thing I'm noticing in the NFL so far this year, Bob. If you are up by 6 points or less, chances are you're going to lose.
Right.
How many teams can't hold victory, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory in the final minutes? The Packers giving it away late. San Diego twice now in the season giving it away late as we see this catch in the end zone by Tennessee. It was that guy's first catch of the season.
Yeah.
Touchdown reception for the game winner. So a lot of teams blowing games late. And we got some surprises at 2-1. Texans, Colts, Titans all tied at 2-1 in the South. How about the Colts, Bob? They make that trade. They get the running back from Cleveland, Trent Richardson, and they head out to San Francisco where everybody thought San Fran was going to flex their muscles after getting spanked in Seattle the week before, and the Colts were going to slip back down as they play this first place schedule, tougher schedule. But no, they go out there and they out-physical the Niners, Bob. Crazy, 27-7. The Colts beat San Fran in San Francisco. Nuts. Other big games, the Chiefs welcome Andy Reid back to Philadelphia. The Eagles did with a 26-16 beating of the Eagles as Donovan McNabb's jersey was retired. They welcome him back. They welcome the old coach back. They got the cheerleaders out there looking good for D. McNabb.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs, the chefs, cook up an Eagle stew.
Yeah.
Cooking it up out there in Philly as they beat them. Browns stunning the Vikings 31-27, second week in a row, last play basically of the game. Vikings lose it on a touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone to a tight end. Browns, after making the trade, they come back and shock the Vikings in Minnesota. Ravens beat down the Texans. Texans looking a little shaky early on as they were lucky to win their first two games. Now they get beat up by the Ravens. Your Giants, Bob.
I know, they're pathetic.
38-0 in Carolina. Oh, my goodness. This reminded me of that playoff game when Carolina came up and beat the Giants 24-0, I think it was. Not that long ago.
Eli was just not.
And the running game is horrible, Bob. This Wilson kid's got problems.
Yeah.
But don't feel bad in your own division. The Redskins 0-3, losing to the Lions 27-20. And the combined record of the NFC East division is 3-9, Bob.
Yeah.
How about them Cowboys at 2-1?
Oh, yeah.
The Eagles 1-2. You, Giants, and the Redskins 0-3. Horrible. My Patriots stunning.
Yes.
First time in I think maybe since 2007 that they are 3-0, Bob.
Yes.
With all the injuries, all the turnover, all the arrests, people in jail, committing murder left and right. Patriots come out unscathed 3-0, heading to the dirty South, Atlanta, who lost to Miami, the other surprising 3-0 team in the AFC East. Patriots at Atlanta Sunday night, primetime affair. That's going to be a good one. Maybe we get to see Gronkowski this week. Not so sure. We mentioned the Packers stunned by the Bungles, bangled up late with the defense. 4th and inches. Packers go for it, trying to seal the victory. Bengals not only stop them, they force the fumble, pick it up, go 70 yards for what would be the game-winning touchdown, Bob. Unbelievable. In Lambeau.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, big win for them. And the Dolphins with the last-minute victory against the Falcons, 27-23. Some big games this weekend. Seahawks at Texans. Can the Texans handle that Seahawks defense? Can Seattle play on the road? We still haven't really seen that yet. Steelers at Vikings in London.
Right.
0-3 teams,
Well, we gotta go
two storied
overseas to play a
franchise.
game. It
This
doesn't
is the first of 2 games that'll take place over there this
Huh?
year, Bob. They got 2 games this year
Yeah.
in London. Bears at Lions. Bears 3-0, Lions 2-1. That's a big division rivalry. Your Giants are facing those 3-0 Sheffies, and I did hear from Mr. Kevin Gallagher. He did call, chirping on my phone this week, all giddy with excitement. He knew the Chiefs would be better. He didn't think they'd be this good. Their defense good, solid offensively, well-rounded team. 3-0. Can your Giants get off the schneid, Bob?
I think they can.
Heading down there, getting points once again, +4 on the road in Kansas City. They're going to be eating the barbecue. The chefs are going to be cooking it up. But will the Giants get the victory? Bob
hope-
says yes.
I hope they will get the victory.
Eagles at Broncos. The
Now, that's
Eagles
a-
looking to fall to 1-3. Everybody thought Chip Kelly was the next coming of the greatest coach, Eric Coryell. Offense changed. The NFL was up. You're never going to see anything like this again. They were 1-0 against the Redskins. Now they're 1-2, and they're heading to Denver, who looks like a juggernaut. Will there be a defense that rises up and plays Denver, or is it going to just be yawn fest week after week with the Broncos just beating teams down? We shall see. And of course, Monday night, big game. Dolphins at Saints. 3-0, 2 3-0 teams, Bob. Crazy.
So we got anything on college football?
Yes, UConn, big night, Saturday night, primetime affair. And first of all, let me just say this. It was primetime.
Right.
You were playing Michigan. All eyes were on you. What do, UConn? You unveiled the most hideous helmets in the history of college
They
football.
were terrible.
Where was the C on the helmet? I still cannot figure out what it was that was on their heads. That was only the worst part of it, because they were up 14-7 at the half.
They were doing great. I figured they
21-7 in the third quarter.
And
Defense
then
was playing
They
great.
forgot. Oh wait a minute. We're playing UConn. We're UConn. We got.
Offense goes to sleep in the second half. They miss a crucial field goal that could have put the lead back to 10 when it was 21-14. They let Michigan rally, scoring the final 17 points, including the game-winning field goal with just over a minute to play. Big letdown. Offensively, this team could do nothing in the second half. They went to sleep. Huge letdown. And my Colorado State team was also playing a primetime game against Alabama at the same time. Defensively, they played great, Bob. They did not allow Alabama to convert a third down into a first down until there was less than 2 minutes to go in this game. So really, defensively, they played well. The final score ended up being 31-6, but it was 17-6 late in the fourth quarter before a turnover and then a penalty gave Alabama 2 touchdowns late. It was really a tight game. So CSU defensively played well, offensively not so much. UConn still looking for a victory as they start 0-3, and they really let down big time. Good atmosphere. The fans really embraced this night. The fans were going crazy. Michigan got lucky to get out of there. Some big games this weekend as we wrap it up. LSU at Georgia, Ole Miss at Bama. Watch out for Ole Miss. Wisconsin at Ohio State, Oklahoma at Notre Dame. All right, we'll see you in a couple weeks because I'm on vacation in San Francisco next week. Take care.